to call the meeting to order for the Conservation Commission Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Agency for Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. Let's see, do we have any alternate? I don't think we have any alternates tonight, so approval of minutes from the September 5th meeting. Do you have any additions, changes, corrections? We're hearing none. I just we file them as they are. And now we have item 3, new applications for this.
Do you want to make a motion to pass?
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. New application for receipt and determination of significance. Application CC number 23-30 of Christopher Lip, owner for the Welcome Home Improvement, applicant for a wetland permit to allow for the installation of 3 piers in order to enlarge an existing deck in wetland soil at 48 Old Mill Court. Assessors map G10 block 148 lot 039. Simsbury.
I have a few slides for this one. So this is an application for the digging of 3 12-inch diameter holes for the installation of piers in order for the owner to construct an approximately 9-foot deck extension. There has been a deck there previously. The applicant was here tonight. There will be minimal disturbance. The holes will be hand dug. And I added to the application materials, there were 2 previous wetland application approvals for the units adjacent to this one, all in wetland soils, as you can see from the map. But they were previously approved, one by a designated agent, and the other, number 50, I believe, went to the commission for approval. So because it's in wetland soils, I felt like I couldn't do a designated agent, even though it's a more minor project. I thought I should bring it to the commission just to get determination of significance. There are soil and erosion controls that are proposed, as you can see in red, to protect the rear of the property, the wetland soils that are in the rear. And I have a picture of the backyard as it currently is, lawn area.
It's very close to the edge of the wetland vegetation.
Mm-hmm.
This line. Always, when these applications come before us, it's always an opportunity to ask how they're doing their lawn management.
Mm-hmm. I know the members of the association are here, as well as the contractor. And I'm not sure if they know if there's a standard procedure for lawn maintenance.
Can we define standard procedure?
Well, because you are right next to a wetland, lawn management, sort of with fertilizer, whatever you put on your lawn will end up right in the thing. So we're always recommending that you do a soils test before you do any fertilization, or consider the herbicide application seriously, because it will go into the wetland. But a soils test might end up saving you money if I don't know if you do fertilize the lawn, if there's a lawn service that does fertilization.
I'm Marilyn.
Okay.
I'm Marilyn Douglas, president of Old Mill Town.
Yes.
With me, I have Marilyn O'Neill. We try to keep it easy. With them, they call us the Marilyns. This is Marilyn O'Neill. She's the vice president. Together, we co-manage our property with our property manager.
Mm-hmm.
And in essence, we have direct communication with our landscape company. And yes, we are on an annual program of fertilizers, weed killers, lime, and so forth. I will say, however, there's been no weed killer used in that area down there. There is no weed. We've chosen no weed. We do have other needs within the property that we use some weed killer now and then in the lawns, but not in we're surrounded by woodland area. But we do fertilize in that area, and we do lime. But, and we also, as far as mowers, we use no rider mowers, they use the 48-inch stand-up, so they're very gentle down in that area.
So oftentimes we fertilize the lawn sort of by rote, but you might want to consider getting soils tests done. They're very inexpensive. And then you might find that some of the fertilizers that you are using, you won't need. And also you might want to consider in your landscape plan, as you replace plants, to add native plants, because they will spread in, that will spread into the wetlands, as opposed to non-native plants. And if you do have any non-native invasive plants, consider having them removed.
Interestingly enough, I've lived at Old Mill since 1986. And it was built in 1978. Over the years, between my husband and I, we have served on the board of directors for maybe 20 years or so. So there are many and very different plants that have gone on in recent history. We have done our own soil samples through Yukon for the very purpose of trying to decide what it is we can do to enrich the soil, to beautify it, and to minimize things. So we've been successful in doing that, and I will say that we only fertilize twice a year very lightly, so it's not like they're fertilizing all the time. And the good news is it's per occurrence, so we wanted it that way so we could change it. And we could control it, what we wanted. So we aren't bound by a contract of certain types of products at a certain time. We can change anything at any time.
So you might just want to look at that and just, it'd be helpful to the wetland as well as maybe to.
I'd be happy to look into that, absolutely, because the people in those 4 units in that last building are the only ones who are really affected by and can see the actual pond. Because of the McLean wood line that we share, they're not able to actually see it very well. So the 4 units there, 44, 46, 48, and 50 love that pond. They're in love with it, and that is part of the reason why they want to expand their decks, to be able to spend more time out there with the frogs and the toads and the birds. And so they're a part of that. And so we're here to support them in hopes that maybe we can work together on how we can give them that lifestyle.
So you might want to look
And
at,
if I may,
yes.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Charlene McCroy, and I'm the contractor at Local Home Improvement. I just would like to point out quickly that, there is no access from the ground to the deck, so it's kind of technically a balcony. So, I mean, I definitely understand your concerns about fertilizers and what what would be seeping into the water for purposes of my structure. The ground is sandy and I think it'll be supported well, but it's just piers there. And so the only thing back there would be foot traffic and like she was saying, just like your standard lawnmower. And
Yes.
we're not bringing any equipment, like excavation equipment back there, just shovels and a coastal digger. And we're doing our best to not disturb the area at all.
No, whenever we have an application, it's an opportunity for us to say, consider your lawn care. It has this impact.
We
So-
appreciate that, and we would also be open to any recommendations.
Yeah. Well, start with the soil test, and you might find that you don't need some of the things that you're putting on. You might, and I know Yukon turf management specialists say only once a year for fertilizing. So
All right,
that's
Very
their
good.
guideline.
thank you.
And about the time kids go back to school would be the time to do that.
Thank you.
Any questions about the application? Any other questions?
I have no questions or concerns about it.
Any motion?
Are we just determining significance or are we,
Returning, yep.
Yeah, all right.
a motion that we find that this is a regulated activity as it is occurring in the wetland soils?
Well, second.
The motion should be whether to determine it's significant or
Okay,
not.
and that we find that it is not a significant activity and schedule it for our next regular meeting for approval.
I will second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you. Have a great meeting.
Moving on to item 4, public
Thank you
hearing.
guys very much for your time. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There are no public hearings or actions or applications. General commission business. We have revisions to the guidelines for conservation commission and wetlands agency.
Yes, this was introduced at the last meeting. I don't have slides on it. I have a handout that I provided the suggested additional language and where to put it in the guidelines. This was, again, as per the guidelines, the language, any change to the language needs to be introduced 10 days prior. So you have a chance to review it and then it's voted on and if it's approved, then it's included.
We did have discussion at the last meeting.
Yes.
General consensus was, if I remember, that it's a great.
Good clarification.
Yep.
So, if there are no other comments, move it to motion.
Are we looking for a motion to approve?
I think we have to do a motion to approve that language.
All right, well, I will move that we approve this language that we have in this memorandum that will be inserted as a new section 1 under 4 meetings.
It's section I under the 4 meetings.
Okay, well, it says, okay,
It's a-
well, then I will
It's a
change.
capital I because the subsections are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah. So just a point of clarification.
Thank you.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, good. Thank you. I'm glad we've got that. Agent actions.
No agent.
All right. Conservation business. Does anyone have any? Night. All right, then we're moving on to the item 8, which is adjournment. We need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Next meeting is gonna be longer.